make you up very shortly.
Right up.
Gentleman 61 is going to maintain 14,000.
Sending 14,000, Gelling
250 knots. Climb and maintain flight level 230.
699 Denver approach, good afternoon, delete speed restrictions, maintain 280 knots, expect RNAV Zulu, running 17 right.
Zulu 17 right, frontier 699. Approach Southwest 910 with you passing 23.7, we have November.
Oh, alright guys.
Southwest 910 Denver approach, expect RNAV Zulu, running 16 right.
Zulu 16 right, 910.
Gentleman 61, contact approach 126.1.
Trying to drink coffee after having dental work
30,
done.
35 present, heading vector final, just going to maintain 11,000.
So you know half your mouth is numb, makes it pretty difficult to drink anything. I had a crown work done. That's always fun. At least it was the second part where they just put the actual crown on, but sometimes they do a little drilling, but luckily today they didn't. All right, we're going from nice relaxing flight from Arlington to Portland to our very own hangar. So we'll get this flight plan on file and we'll probably do a procedure out of here, out of Arlington. $29.97. Wind is relatively calm. It's variable at 4 knots. Portland's landing west. Wind is down the runway and it's raining at Portland. Okay, all that looks great. So we'll use CTAP for talking to other aircraft at the field. And then we'll use simulated phone call to talk to Seattle approach. And the wind is variable, so we'll plan on a south departure, 1,000 feet, right turn. Got to be above 2,000 here. And then he'll vector us to Payne. And then the crater 2 from Buzo, so starting here. Then right now Portland's landing west, so we'll come down this transition. For vectors for ILS 28 right approach. And then we'll park at GA ramp, which is Atlantic Aviation. A little bit of weather along the way. A little turbulent, not too bad. It's definitely cloudy. There's definitely ice. The ice is going to be low. It's like 9,000 for ice, so we'll keep an eye out on. So I like to write down 9 ice. And these are all the aircraft that they'll give us radar services for to look out for them. And Pilot Edge, as always, you're guaranteed ATC 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. If I were to fly on VATSIM, you wouldn't have anything over here right now, so none of this is controlled. So at least for Pilot Edge, I got ATC during the daytime hours. Cool, 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 cool. Probably won't be talking a whole lot just because my mouth is all numb. But I figured this would be a cool, at least visual flight with the weather being that it is. So I figured why not? Might as well go ahead and record. I guess Arlington doesn't have jet fuel, so I'm going to use the just a rough estimate there for. I think jet fuel is actually cheaper per the gallon, so that would be 382 times 4, 15, $1,500 in fuel in real numbers. This is probably my favorite King Air flight out of all the King Air flights I do. Alright, got 28 on external, battery 22. Set that, brake is on, battery coming on. External power is blinking, so I'll go ahead and connect that. 28. Nav, tail light. Gentide lights, reset, all good there. Fuel cutoff. To 100%. Engine into ice on, battery bus up on position. Is the beacon light on? Yeah, beacon light's on. Clear to start. Clear prop. Low idle. Looking for hot start, oil pressure. Nice cool start on that. Give her full power. Disconnect external, GPU, reset Gen 1. External power is gone. 28 volts left gen. Use left gen to start right engine here. Low idle. .28 across the board. All good there. Do a bus sense test here. Got Gentai lights. Reset. Need at least 11 psi per bleed. Gyro suction, pneumatic pressure. And the temperature is 45 degrees. So we'll do electric heat, so we'll add that up. Get things warmed up pretty fast. And we'll turn on our inverters here first. That will extinguish those AC lights, and then we'll turn on an EFA system, and then avionics. Turn on our radios, test the autopilot, so on and so forth. So those are on, those are on. Avionics. .272 and 122.2 is a simulated phone call, and we'll go ahead and monitor guard and AWAS. Arlington's 135.62.
Arlington Muni weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 3,600 broken. 23,000 overcast. Temperature 6. Dew point 4. Altimeter 2997.
Field elevation's 142, so that's good enough. Coffee maker on. E-light check. Slave the gyros. Turn that DME thingamabobber on. Temperature's warmed up, so I can turn off our electric heat. Lower that back down. Procedure. We're gonna do 1.6. Load that. And then we're going to pane. And then from there, Victor 2-3 to Seattle. And then from Seattle, it'd be a star, so we'll do Portland, procedure, arrival, crater 2 from Buzo, and let me see what their D8 shows right now. They're landing on the 10s. So we'll do 10, load. Alright, flight plan is entered. Transponder will I'll set that in a few. I'll say 2000 initial. Do an auto ignition check here. Those 4 lights should extinguish, which they did. Window anti-ice, prop anti-ice is in the green. Turn that off. That's good. Full power for this next one, which is a surface de-ice test. This will inflate the boot to break off any ice that accumulates. Got wing, and then here in a couple seconds we'll get tail. Good on that. And we'll do a ground idle test. AFX lights for auto feather. Feather to the left. Feather to the right. Go ahead and arm the auto feather system for takeoff. 3,000 feet per minute. That's good. File 22, set for 2 tree. Put this at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock position for 500 feet per minute cabin altitude climb. Feels good. EPIS test 7 seconds. All right, runway 16. 162. Flaps approach, set markers. We need 3,500 feet of runway. We have 5,300. Gonna rotate 102 knots. Taxi light, recall light. Put that into beta mode. Squawk mode, Charlie or whatever. Lights stay out. Arlington traffic, King Air 139, taxiing to runway 16 from East GA ramp, Arlington traffic. Get our clearance.
Number 751 Lima Uniform Oakland Center, Fallon, altimeter 29907.
Good afternoon, Seattle. Departure, King Air 1399 on the ground at Arlington, with weather IFR Portland.
King Air 1399er, Seattle departure, clear to Portland Airport, Arlington 2 departure, radar vectors, Payne, and then as filed, maintain 2000, expect flight level 220 within 10 minutes. Departure 120.4, squawk 6166, hold for release.
Cleared to Portland via Arlington 2 departure, radar vectors, Payne, Dennis filed. Climb maintain 2000, expect flight level 220 in 10 minutes. Departure 120.4, squawk 6166, hold for release, also number 1 for departure for runway 16.
Number 1399, read back correct. Release for departure, clearance void, if not off by 1940 Zulu, time now 1932. If not by 40, call back by 45 with your intentions for exchange approved.
Go back within 45, if not up in the air, frequency changed, approved. King Air 1399, thanks.
Welcome 229, contact Albuquerque Center 134.6.
So go back to Uni, departure is 120.4. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Alright, we'll leave that on. Do that. Strobes. Nice. All that's fine. Speedo, stall warning. Prop sync. 2000. $6166, that's what I'm forgetting. At least it's not 3 6s in a row. That'd be bad. Arlington traffic, King Air 139 taking off runway 16 for the Arlington 2 departure for off to the west. Arlington. There we got right controls. Left controls.
Auto feather lights on. Airspeed alive. 60 knots. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate. Gear up. Attitudes check. Gear indicates up.
I need to be 1,000 feet before I can make this turn. Switch to departure.
Center 125.75.
that guy,
Number 751, Lima Uniform, Oakland Center, due to minimum vectoring altitudes in the area, negative, I'm unable. You can cancel IFR and go that way if you want, but I can't do anything IFR due to minimum vectoring altitude.
just waiting for a good lull.
1,000 feet to minimums.
Seattle departure, King Air 1399, Arlington 2 at 2000.
November 1399er, Seattle departure, radar contact 11 north of the Payne VOR, turn left direct, Payne, and climb and maintain 15,000, altimeter 2997.
Location checks, climb, maintain 15,000, clear direct to Payne 2997, King Air 1399. Alright, gears up, flaps are up. Sometimes we get 26.6 for our next frequency. That's just a guess. Doesn't have to be that for sure. See where these tops are.
Morgan 602, contact Salt Lake City Center 135.77.
Looks like the tops are about 18,000 feet at the very top.
Walker 602, Salt Lake City Center, Salt Lake is landing north, altimeter 2995, cross Spain at 16.
So we should break out around, probably right around this altitude here. It's pretty darn cloudy.
Number 1399er, contact Seattle Center 126.6.
Seattle Center 126.6, King Air 1399er. It's flip flop. Flip flop. Seattle Center, King Air 1399, 6,600, climbing 15,000.
November 1399er, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Climb maintain flight level 220, 1399.
Cancel IFR.
Number 751, Lima Uniform, IFR cancellation received. Are you looking for advisories on your way?
I know, cancel flight calling also.
Number 1, Lima Uniform, radar service terminated with your cancellation. Squawk and maintain VFR for exchange of the group.
Exchange approved and let's go for your bar. Thanks. 1 Lima Uniform.
Sure thing, we'll see ya.
Voltage is looking good. Cabin pressure is gradually climbing here. Like I said, we'll break out around 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's where we'll see some blue skies. Blue skies. I don't care about the auto feather at this altitude. Definitely advisable when you're taking off and landing, but I can feather the prop myself. Plenty of time to do that. I've been trying something different the last week, where whenever I fly a new plane, meaning not flying the same plane twice in a row, like last night I flew my flight factor A320, and then today I'm flying the King Air 350 as the next flight. So what I'm doing is I'm restarting the sim from scratch. So I'll load the King Air from scratch, all the plugins, everything I need for the GTN plugins and the scenery packages and all that fancy stuff. Load at the gate, and then come up here, quit the sim all the way to desktop, just quit all the way out. Then reload exactly the same exact flight. The second time you load it, it takes maybe 2 minutes tops. It doesn't take that long to load into the second time. The first time, it's like your average load time. The second time is not that long. And so far, knocking on wood, hopefully this desk is wood because I just knocked on it. I have cut down a lot on like little inconsistencies, you know, something not working that might be a minor or whatever or whatnot, but it just seems like the planes are a little bit more fluid. Things are working a little bit better. Don't get as many hang-ups. So is it foolproof? No, it's still a computer, so nothing's foolproof. Here we are coming up to 13,000. I'm just starting to break out, so it's right on the money with the weather reporting. But yeah, so I just figured I'd start doing this for a while because, you know, if you fly the same plane over and over again, then it's obviously not as critical. But I fly a different plane practically every time I sit down in my sim pit. And I don't know why, but if I were to just load this up the first time, I could have an issue with like the ground idle stop test where I let go of this switch and instead of the RPM dropping from 1500 to 1300 RPM, it will increase. And if it increases, then you know the plane ACF file loaded wrong or something, some code screwed up. And that also means that you won't have functioning auto feather. So loading the plane, and if you try to do a developer reload current aircraft and art, that doesn't always work. So I'm finding it much better to just load from scratch. And one of the reasons I know it doesn't work, maybe not specifically for the King Air, but the Concorde, 2 weekends ago on Cross the Pond, I had loaded in, and as a matter of fact, it was that flight that made me think to start doing this new process. I loaded it in, single load into the gate at it was Boston, I believe. I was flying from Boston to Heathrow, and I didn't really notice anything was wrong. Well, at first everything looked fine, but then when I logged on the VATSIM, I noticed that I logged in on top of another client that was already sitting at the gate prior to me signing in. So you know the proper thing to do
229, contact Albuquerque Center
is to
134.32.
move the plane over. Whoever has the gate first wins.
229.
So what I ended up doing was I went to flight config, created a
Albuquerque
new
Center,
flight.
229, flight level 400.
I moved
229, Albuquerque
over
Center,
one gate, and then because it said it was starting a new flight, I had to hit start new flight button. And apparently that, you know, it reloaded, but it didn't reload everything that the plane needed. It was weird. Like the plane, everything on the ground seemed to be okay. Like everything was working, at least appeared to be working okay. However, once I got to the takeoff phase, and after I departed and took off, it took every bit of axis on the yoke to pull up just to keep the vertical speed going, because it kept wanting to nose down. And I mean, I had this thing trimmed all the way up, full yoke, full pulling the yoke toward me. That thing was having a hell of a time just trying to get it to climb. And I was like, that is really weird. I don't remember it being that hard. So then the next thing that happened, and you guys can check my Twitter account, Twitch, which there's a link to that in my YouTube at the top right. At least it should still be there. And you can see that flight I'm talking about. It was 2 weeks ago across the pond. And I hit the button on the autopilot panel about max climb. So once I got my permission to do max climb or supersonic or super cruise, whatever the heck it's called, what it should have done was accelerated to the line. I guess it'd be like this line if it was on this plane. And then once it gets to that max climb rate, then it will climb. But I hit that button and it wouldn't climb at all. In fact, it was descending a lot of the time. And when it would reach, it would just overspeed. Like it would pass the max speed, and then it never would climb. So I tried everything I could think of to fix that issue, and nothing was working. So I ended up just bailing that flight. But it's kind of funny because some of the viewers that was around on that day was like, well, for the fun of it, why don't you just nosedive it into the ocean? I was like, yeah, okay. Because that was like, I've killed so many virtual passengers on that plane. When I first bought that plane, when I didn't even know how to do any of it, that plane handles different than anything else I have. Like, it has a mind of its own. So, it's kind of funny. I crashed it on purpose, but I went offline, so the VATSIM controllers didn't actually see me plummeting down to the earth. And my plan is this Saturday, this Saturday, where's my calendar? Saturday the 5th. I'm planning to fly the Concorde again, except I'm going to go from Heathrow to JFK this next time, and I'm going to start that stream probably my normal time, so probably around
clearance, clear to San Francisco Airport.
2 o'clock p.m.
900,000,
Eastern Standard
15,000
Time.
as your top altitude. NorCal on 127.4, squawk 2504. SK1186, read back correct. Number 139er, descend via the crater to arrival, Portland landing east, altimeter 3000.
Descend via the crater to arrival, east transition 3000. King Air 1399, thanks. So yeah, if any of you guys are inclined to watch me possibly crash again on Saturday, feel free to drop by, even if it's for 5 minutes, to say hey. I know this is recording my YouTube, then I'm going to be uploading this flight in the King Air. So just let my YouTube guys know that I'm planning to live stream Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So, and Concorde's fun, and I'll be flying out of Heathrow, so we'll be doing it on VATSIM, so you'll be able to hear some of the London Heathrow ATC controllers. They're always really nice. They're nice, and they're pretty good over there too. And then so you don't have to worry about like a long cruise, because what I do is once I take off and I get to the cruise section, you know, and that's like the boring time. So we're gonna do like 2 times the ground speed. I'm gonna disconnect from the network after I get to cruise, and then 2 times the ground speed. So it will only take me 1 hour and 15 minutes to cross the entire Atlantic doing it that way. And during that little hour and 15-minute intermission, I'll be monitoring the stream, so anyone who's there can still chat to me in the chat. I won't be on voice during that hour and 15 minutes because I'm going to be in the living room monitoring the flight from my laptop. But then as soon as I get close into the Boston airspace on the descent into JFK, then I'm going to sign back online to VATSIM, and usually I'll have ATC for my landing into Kennedy. Not always, but usually. You know, and most of the fun is departing Heathrow anyway, so the landing is always a little bit tricky with that plane, but in some ways it's easier to land it than it is to take off. The plane is weird, just the whole flight thing is weird. But the developer of that plane is working on an XP11 update, which I think is going to be a small update fee. So if you own his Concorde, it's a Concorde 4XP. I guess in the original receipt that you got, there should be a code, I think. Usually that's how they do it. got a little while to the top of descent. Pressure is nice and good there. But yeah, man, I mean, I'd love to talk to my YouTube fans. So, again, if you're around Saturday, that'd be awesome. Just drop by and say hi. And if you click the follow button on my Twitch account, doesn't cost anything, and hit the bell. I think it's a bell on Twitch. I don't live stream that much, like usually once a week, maybe twice if I'm feeling adventurous. But anyway, if you click the follow button with the bell, then I'm planning to go live at 2, but if I'm running a little bit late or whatever, that way you don't have to like sit there and wait or whatever. So if you hit the follow button, you'll know when I go live, and you just wait for that alert to come across your phone or laptop, whatever. D8 is for Portland.
Walker 602, contact Salt Lake City, approach 128.1.
28.1, Walker 602.
Victor, altimeter 3000, as he said. So add 400 feet to Portland's.
Walker 602, Salt Lake approach, thanks for Juliet. After Spain, descend via the Lehigh 5 arrival, expect ILS runway 34 right approach.
That's what we'll set the thing on. We're going to do the 10 left. Reason I'm gonna do the RNAV is because
vertical track.
Start on our way down. Seattle Center, King Air 1399 is leaving, flight level 220.
Level 1399, roger, thanks.
Whenever you leave your last assigned altitude, you always have to let them know. And east transition, bottom of the barrel is 5K.
This K1186, capital ground, runway 17 left, taxi.
Make sure we don't bust 11,000 at Helms, so we'll step it down and then 5K there. No speed restrictions except for Voodoo. And then we're gonna do it's like a final heading at 278. So we'll do 278. Technically supposed to keep the heading bugged, but it's just as easy as mashing that button to sync it if I need to. And we are starting on our way down, so we'll reset our thingamabobber here for 422 feet cabin altitude. So that's a 500-foot mark. So the cabin is descending, so we'll slowly come down to field elevation for the cabin. $28.35, I believe is ATIS. Yeah, 128.35.
Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor. Portland International Airport. ATIS information, Victor. 1853 Zulu. Wind 190 at 4. Visibility 10. Ceiling 1,400 broken. 4,700 overcast. Temperature 7. Dew point 4. Altimeter 3000. Arriving and departing runways 10 left, 10 right. ILS runway 10 left and runway 10 right approach in use. Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery. Advise on heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Notice to airmen runway 321 close. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Alright, missed approach, climb to 800 feet. Then, so you go straight out to 800, then left to 4200, direct to battleground VOR and hold. Continue, climb and hold to 4200 feet. So if we need to go missed, straight out, boom, 800 left turn, battleground, cross over battleground, and go into a right-hand orbit.
1186, Capitol Tower, after departure, flight heading 120.
And we're going to request it from Buxom. My weather injector is showing 3001, so always use what your injector shows, not what real weather. I'm using real world weather, but sometimes it's off a little bit, so I always go with whatever my weather injector is putting in the sim is what ATC will see you at. So if my weather injector was way off, then you'd still have to use the weather injector. Alright, we just passed Buxom. We had to be above 11,000. So we definitely cleared that, no problemo. So the next one is 10 and 13 at Crater. So we'll just bump that down to 10 so we don't bust that.
Walker 602 at Plage, cleared ILS, runway 34 right approach.
I'm just setting the markers because it's a little...
1399 contact Portland approach 124.35.
Portland approach 124.35, King Air 13900. Alright, we are good with Victor. Actually, it just changed to Whiskey.
Biscayne 1186, contact NorCal departure.
Departure, Biscayne 1186.
Falcon 229, contact Los Angeles Center 124.62.
I'll call departure, Biscayne 1186, climbing out of 2.7 for 9,000, heading 120.
Biscayne 1186, NorCal departure, radar contact.
So I'm going to have to ask her if she wants me to stick on the east transition. Portland approach, King Air 1399er, Crater 2, leaving 2,100, descending for the east transition, current with Whiskey. Now, do you want me to stay on the east transition, or do you want me to switch it to the west transition? Looks like they're landing on the 28s now. 1399.
01399 Portland approach. I was just about to mention that. Given the wind, I'll go ahead and put you on the west transition if you're able to make the switch, okay?
Yeah, 10-4 west transition will work for 1399er.
01399 Roger. Expect ILS runway 28 right approach. And yeah, join the west transition.
Greater 2 west transition, plan ILS 25 or 28 right approach 1399er. Alright, give me a second, guys. So at Hiker, we're going to go on a heading of 151. And Hiker is 7,000.
Come on ahead, I want to sit up. I got torn straight ahead. Do you want me to fly to it instead?
Let's do 28.
Vertical track.
Okay, direct torn, this kind of initiative.
Alright, so now we'll be going that direction. So Hikers between 7 and 9. You have to keep an eye out on icing, so turn on auto there.
399 after sun. Fly heading 105, descend and maintain 4,000, right, correction, vectors ILS runway 28 right approach.
After sun, fly heading 105, descend and maintain 4,000, vectors for ILS 28 right approach 1399. So we'll do 105. 105. After sun. So we're gonna go this way, and then we need to be 6,000 at liquid, and then at sun we'll
Walker 602, contact Salt Lake
gonna
City
deviate a little bit out this way.
602. Salt Lake City Tower, hello, Walker 602 on the ILS tree 4 right approach.
Walker 602, Salt Lake City Tower, runway 34 right, clear to land.
Tree 4 right, cleared to land, Walker 602.
So looking at 283. This should hold at 6. And I don't see any icing. It's actually warmer now. But we'll leave that on. We'll leave that on. That's fine. Turn all them lights on. So we got 13 miles till we get to sun. We 105 there. go ahead and arm. Yeah, I'll arm that. And seat belts are on. Got 10 miles to Sun. I forgot to close the door. After Sun, we can descend to 4,000. And Sun is 210. So I'll slow down there.
602, clear tree 4, left Hotel 8, heading to gate Bravo 8.
Looks like he's 1,500 feet underneath us, but
Under 602, taxi to terminal
be all right.
Hotel Echo. If you need it, monitor ground. Have a wonderful.
Hotel Echo, if we need it, and monitor ground.
Procedure ILS 28. All right. Vectors. We'll just load her in for right now. That's fine. All good to go.
1186, contact SoCal Bridge 128.5.
1285, scan 86.
Pop that up to nav 1. Once the plane starts to turn on its own, we'll do that next instruction. We'll slow down here to 210. Looks like we're going to be clear of him. He's heading off this direction somehow. Looks like the same direction as me as well. Once we go to vectors, we can switch to ILS mode.
No call approach, Biscayne 1186. What's the frequency again?
So we need
Biscayne 1186, NorCal approach 120.9 or 5.
Okay, 12095, Biscayne 1186.
283 on the course. Here's the ILS over there.
No call approach, Biscayne 1186, 15,000 information Foxtrot.
Biscayne 1186, NorCal approach San Francisco altimeter 3009er. Cross speeds at maintain 10,000. San Francisco is landing 282 right. Expect visual approach runway 28 right.
Okay, expect visual approach 28 right, and safety instructions again to cross what?
Biscayne 1186, cross speeds at and maintain 10,000.
There's no icing.
Okay, cross cities at 10,000, Biscayne 1186.
Mm, 26.2469 and towers 18.7, ground is 0.9er.
No 139er, fly heading 150.
Fly heading 150, King Air 1399er.
Kilo 1399 traffic, 3 o'clock, 3.5 miles, currently eastbound, altitude indicates 4,000, type unknown.
Roger, I'm IMC. I'm going to climb for a little bit. 1399.
No 1399, Roger. I appear to be passing behind you. He does appear to have started a descent now, indicating 3,700.
Roger that. Going back down to 4,000. 1399. Thanks.
No 1399, fly heading 260, join the runway 28 right, localizer.
Fly heading 260, join the 28 right, localizer 1399. Alright, so we need to mash nav.
No 1399, 4 miles from AC, maintain 3,000 until established localizer, cleared ILS, runway 28 right, approach.
Maintain 3,000, cleared ILS 28 right approach 1399. Now we can arm the approach mode, and we'll just capture it all right there. At first, she said intercept localizer, so that's not the same as given permission to fly the approach. So you can't descend when they tell you to capture the localizer. You can only descend when they say you're cleared to fly the approach. Then you can take the glide slope down. So whenever they say join localizer, don't mash the approach button, just mash the nav button. Tower is 18.7.
No 1399, how's that Portland Tower?
Over to Portland Tower, King Air 1399. 18.7. Portland Tower, King Air 1399, establishing a localizer 28 right.
1399 Portland Tower, Susan broken 1,500. If you break out sooner or later, please advise runway 28 right, clear to land.
I'll advise when I break out 28 right, clear to land 1399.
Biscayne 1186, contact soaked out, correction, north tower approach 135.65.
13565, Biscayne 1186. I'll call the approach Biscayne 1186 with you at descent to 10,000 to cross CD, so 10,000.
Let's make sure the weather looks proper.
Biscayne 1186, north tower approach, San Francisco altimeter 3009ers, confirm you do have ADIS. And after C's, cross Archie at maintain 7,000 at
3
Archie.
green,
Join
all
the
good.
runway 28 right localizer.
Yeah, firm, we got information Foxtrot and
A little bit of a left crosswind.
7,000, cross Archie at 7,000 and join the 28 right
Missed
localizer.
approach 800. Left turn to 42 to about, no, that's the wrong one.
This K1186 after Archie is going to maintain 4,000.
600, right
Okay,
turn to
after
400,
Archie,
42.
4,000 with K1186.
So I'll set this.
NorCal Press, good afternoon. Address November 687 Charlie Whiskey is a Cirrus SR-22 about 17 nautical miles to the south. So they're requesting VFR flight following to San Carlos at 5,500.
Number 687 Charlie Whiskey, NorCal approach, squawk 3175 ident.
3175 ident, Charlie Whiskey.
Minimums is 300 radars, 281 MSL, so we'll just say 300. 1200.
Number 687 Charlie Whiskey, radar contact 13 miles south of San Jose, VOR San Jose, altimeter 3011. And advise you off weather for San Carlos.
3011 and advise weather for San Carlos, 7 Charlie Whiskey.
Missed
200 feet to minimums. $100 feet to minimums. Minimums.
I'm gonna pull it off my plane.
Feet.
Yes, okay, Sierra 7 Charlie Whiskey at the weather at San Carlos. Would like to request the visual 30 and the class Bravo transition.
Sierra 7 Charlie Whiskey, roger. Contact NorCal approach 135.65.
3565, 7 Charlie Whiskey.
Knots.
NorCal, good afternoon. It's November 687 Charlie Whiskey, 4,500 on a VFR descent to San Carlos. Request the class Bravo transition full stop.
There's 687 Charlie Whiskey, NorCal approach. Thank you. Maintain VFR at or below set 4,000 and cleared into San Francisco Bravo airspace. Remain south of the 28 finals into San Francisco.
All right, remain south of the Cisco final and clearance to the class Bravo outer below 4,007 Charlie Whiskey.
Portland Tower, King Air 1399. Looking for Atlantic, and I broke out at 1,200.
Air 1399, thanks for the info. Taxi Atlantic Gate Alpha, monitor ground. Have a wonderful day.
Parking via Alpha, monitor ground, King Air 1399. Thanks, you too. Uh, 21.9er.
on Yakima Tower, taking the call sign. I heard with whiskey, but that didn't get to the call sign. That's a 40 Romeo Charlie, and you said you're east of the field? Sure, 40 Romeo Charlie, make shit in for runway 27, report 3 mile final. Scan 1186 San Francisco Airport, 1 to 2 o'clock, 18 miles. Report when you have it in sight.
Okay, we'll report at the airport inside Biscayne 96.
Number 7 Charlie Whiskey, you're about 6 miles from the airport and you're below my Bravo here, so I'm going to go ahead and switch you to advisory. Radar services are terminated. Squawk fire frequency change approved. Leaving Bravo airspace.
Alright, frequency change approved. And leaving the Bravo airspace. 7 Charlie Whiskey, good day.
Biscayne 1186, you said you do have field in sight?
Not yet, Biscayne 96. We've got a few clouds ahead, but we are established on the localizer on the ILS.
Biscayne 1186, Roger, would you prefer the ILS approach?
Sure, we'll take it at this time, Biscayne 96.
Biscayne 1186, you're 2 miles from Dumba, maintain 4,000 till established slow 5, declared ILS runway 28 right approach.
Okay, 4,000 to establish, clear to ILS 28 right approach, Biscayne 96.
Biscayne 1186 at Aximal, contact San Francisco Tower.
Okay, at Aximal, contact Tower, Biscayne 1186.
Alright, stand by. Taxi Rico. Turn all that jazz off. Bleed air. Oxygen. We don't need no stinking oxygen. Seatbelts, furnace, prop sync, avionics.
Disconnected.
Definitely a little foggy coming in. Little foggy.
feet. 60 knots. 50 feet. Knots. Feet. 60 knots. 50 feet. Knots.
All right, so turn off the power. Turn that off. I wonder if I can, I've never tried that. I wonder if I can steer this thing with my rudder pedals. Nope. I think it might be going in at an angle. I think the replay kind of messed up the steering. I'll be all right. Plenty of room on that side, that's for dang sure. wish there was a run button. Again, if you like my material, please hit click the like, share, subscribe buttons. And if you guys are around Saturday afternoon, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm planning to fly the Concorde. Again, you'll see my Twitch account at the top right corner of the YouTube channel. You can click on that and then click follow, and then you'll get the alert when I do go live on Saturday, if you are indeed interested in seeing me possibly crash the Concorde again. Otherwise, you all have a good rest of your week, and we'll see if I do another recording this week or not. We shall see. But thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Chase out.